Here we go. Hello. What am I talking about today? I'm talking about why the name Ford Prefect. So Ford Prefect's Guide is the name of the channel that I've just came up with. Why Ford Prefect? Who's Ford Prefect? Well, Ford Prefect is a fictional character from my favorite book series. As the intro says, it's um, an alien that's visiting Earth, and he kind of tries to fit in, but he kind of doesn't, and people think he's funny, but he's also got some quite quirky things. I somewhat identify with that, so I thought that's perfect. Fort Prefect's Guide, because is it a guide that I'm doing here? I don't know. I hope it's helpful. But yeah, it's debatable. But Fort Prefect's Guide is it's just it fit perfectly. I hope I'm not infringing on anybody's copyright. But there you go. So who is this Ford Prefect? Who am I? I am 43 years old. I'm male, or identify as male. I'm heterosexual. I live in Middle England. I earn a medium income. I live in a mid-terrace, not mid-terrace, end of terrace house. I'm divorced. I've got two kids. I have autism, or I am autistic. I'm still not entirely sure about the naming convention. I guess the you know to me, I'm just me, and I've done my best to kind of find a way um, to understand this world like everybody else. I guess and it's just got some specific kind of traits, and my mind seems to be perceiving things or doing things differently. Like I just had a call, and I was like, should I apologize? Should I just say, like, I hope I'm not weirding you out by saying these things, because I sometimes, for me, they are uh, matter of fact. They're normal. They're just, it makes perfect sense in my head, and I've learned the hard way that a lot of the time that I think it's normal, or it's you know it's just what I think. Other people are like, oh, is there an agenda? This is nobody in their right mind, in their normal mind, in their typical mind, would even offer that or think that. And I'm like, no, it's perfectly fine. It's not bother, no bother, uh, because I, it works differently. So I'm, I think, struggling sometimes with the idea of correlating these two things and saying, I don't know what's normal for you, or what you perceive as acceptable, but I've learned this over time. I'm 43 years old, so I've had a bit of time to think about it and kind of soak it up. But you gotta, it's really difficult, because things change as well, and it depends what kind of culture you kind of communicating with. But especially where relationships are concerned, it's extremely challenging, because I'm, at least from my side, find it. I don't want to upset the other person, because I care a great deal about that person. So I don't want to, do something that upsets them. And in some cases, that I don't really want to border into relationship. That's another topic for another time. But who am I? Yeah, I'm trying to have a relationship again. I've had quite a few relationships in my 43 years, which I'm quite happy about, but all of them kind of share the same issues, um, which is all about communication and that quirkiness, perhaps. So I'm a pretty boring person. If we were to describe as like white, middle class, middle income, doing something in IT with projects, it's it's not gonna set the world on fire, and it's not gonna you know change things too much. And what I find interesting is I'm not obsessive about um, you know particular things like animals or whatever, but I'm obsessing about perhaps the future of mankind, the survival of the species and the survival of our planet, and doing stuff in an ethical and fair and mutually kind of beneficial kind of way. So it's always kind of, I don't understand why people are greedy or mean to each other, or why they wouldn't just want to get along. But I'm obsessive about perhaps the fairness bit in about the not sustainability. The sustainability and climate change are big topics, but yeah, those are things that are very, very important. And I guess you could say I can get obsessive about it. And politics perhaps, because I don't really like politics or politicians. I think they're two-faced, um, you know, bastards. They're just, career politicians are like, there are examples of some that are genuinely good, kind people who are trying to do the right thing, and then there's a lot that you seem to come across that are just doing it for their own benefit or to get off on it. I don't know. Cannot relate to that. It's about, for me, it's always about the outcome and about the solution and finding an effective way to kind of get there. So that's kind of me. I'm vegetarian. I'm trying to be as vegan as I can. I'm not one of those people. Let's not pigeonhole. I don't like that. I don't like to tell people what to do. I'm like, this is my view, this is my attitude. Yours might be very different, and I'm not. I have a general rule, which is if you're hurting other people with your opinion or with what you're doing, then that's bad, and you shouldn't be doing that. So that's kind of where I draw the line. Other than that, if you believe in religion, I don't. If you're a person of faith, or of science, I'm a person of science. There's I can argue about evidence and fact and those kind of things, but personal preference and personal likes and beliefs, they're your personal things. So there's no way to say that you're right or wrong. You're entitled to your opinion. It's just when that opinion starts hurting other people, then that's not okay. And if you have a sexual preference that is hurting other people, or disenfranchising them or whatever, that's absolutely categorically not on. So I think I like to believe that I have a strong moral compass and a strong kind of view on these kind of things. I think you could call me a liberal, but I'm actually very green. I think I am a member of the Green Party, but I'm very, very, very bitterly disappointed by the lack of engagement. So they don't even do an email newsletter, and they don't tell you when their conferences. It's like, what the hell? Why am I a member? And why am I filling out forms saying I'd be happy to help you when you're not reaching out? So I think what I'm saying is, when I make a commitment to something like that, I want it to be taken further, and I get a bit upset when it doesn't happen, perhaps. So that's me. What else can I say? I've got two children now, 7 and 8, and they're wonderful. And I'm worried about them growing up with a father who has some communication issues, perhaps, or requirements. I can sometimes see that now, but yeah, it's a challenge, and doing that effectively on your own is even more challenging. And I mean, I had children because I always wanted children. I always wanted to be a family, because I grew up as an only child, and although I had my cousins growing up at the same time in the same place, it's not quite the same as having a family. I grew up without a dad, because I lost him to cancer when I was very young. So yeah, I always wanted a family, and now I'm very disheartened to find that I haven't quite figured out the whole relationship bit, I guess. But I do have kids, and I love spending time with them, and you know, my son is um, a little bit like me, perhaps. So my daughter, I don't know, not so much. She's got other traits, but I'm not entirely sure. But if I use the wrong words to describe stuff, and I'm trying to get the meaning across that's in my head, yeah, we have some serious issues, and she gets very upset. So you know, here's for all the times that I upset people by not being able to communicate effectively what's in my head. And a lot of the time I do find myself agreeing with people when I talk to them, but it's hard to articulate some of the stuff in my head, and I'm wondering whether I should be saying it out loud. So I often don't say it, or it turns into ramble. Like this is turning into ramble now. I think that's as much as I can say about me without perhaps giving too much away. But if you have any questions, please reach out. I've got I've got a email address which is in every description, which is fordprefectsguide@protonmail.com. Fordprefectsguide.com is the web address. I also got fordprefects.guide. Print on t-shirts. No, I'm jokingly saying all of these things. I think I would really like to meet new people through this. For me, this is a different type of blogging. I might put some of this stuff on an actual website as a blog, but really this is a good medium. So I'm hoping to find some people, and I'm thinking if I keep putting content out, maybe you guys will watch it. And you've watched this far, 13 minutes nearly in. So thank you very much, and don't forget to subscribe and leave me your comments. Bye bye.